필리핀으로 수출되는 3,200톤급 최신의 초계함이 자랑스러운 위용을 뽐내며 출항했습니다.
A warship, painted in fresh gray, leaves the docks of Ulsan, South Korea. The water parts as she begins her journey south, heading toward her new home. On her side, the name glints in the sunlight, the future BRP Diego Silang, hull number FFG-07. For many, it's just another ship delivery. Another headline in the modernization program. But for those who look closer, this departure tells a bigger story, not only about the Philippine Navy's growing fleet, but about South Korea's strategy to secure its place as our most trusted defense partner. Stay with us until the end. This is not just about a warship. This is about South Korea playing a long game and positioning itself as the Philippines' most important partner at sea. Before we continue our discussion, don't forget to like button, subscribe, and the notification bell button from Pinoy Guard. Welcome back to Pinoy Guard. Earlier this week, the second Miguel Malvar-class frigate slipped away from Hyundai Heavy Industries shipyard. She is on her delivery cruise now, bound for the Philippines. In just a matter of days, by the early part of next week, she will arrive in Philippine waters. And there, the Navy has already prepared an arrival ceremony, a moment of pride, flags waving, sailors lined in formation, officers saluting as the newest addition to the fleet docks for the very first time. It is a ritual that marks more than a transfer of property. It marks the growth of our Navy's shield, one vessel at a time. The Diego Silang was not an afterthought. She was born out of the Corvette acquisition project, a Horizon 2 priority under the revised AFP Modernization program. The contract was signed with South Korea for about 12.5 billion pesos. That's roughly 215 million US dollars, covering 2 missile-capable frigates. The first, BRP Miguel Malvar, FFG-06, was delivered earlier this year. And now, the Diego Silang follows. Together, they form the backbone of what we call the Miguel Malvar class, though in truth, they're closer to light frigates than traditional corvettes. Each ship is based on Hyundai's HDF 3200 design, an evolution of the Jose Rizal class frigates that came before. And while many analysts, myself included, have already broken down their specifications, weapons, and sensors in detail, the more interesting story lies elsewhere. Most people will focus on the Diego Silang's combat systems. Yes, she carries a 76mm main gun. Yes, she has surface-to-air and surface-to-surface missile capabilities, torpedoes, electronic warfare gear. But what's often missed is why South Korea is delivering these ships, and what it says about their ambitions. South Korea has built a pattern. First, they gave us the Jose Rizal class frigates, modern, affordable, delivered on time. Then they followed up with the Miguel Malvar class, showing consistency in design, production, and delivery. And now, with the Diego Silang's voyage, Seoul is making a statement. We are not just a supplier. We are your partner for the long haul. Think about it. The Philippines is about to embark on Horizon 3, the most ambitious modernization phase yet. It includes the Frigate Acquisition Project Phase 2, 6 new warships. It includes the Submarine Acquisition Project, long delayed but finally moving. Japan is courting us. France has made bold offers. Even the United States is circling, with its shipbuilders watching. But South Korea has something powerful to show. Proven track record, they've delivered every ship we bought without major delay. Cost-effective pricing, their warships are consistently cheaper than Western alternatives, yet competitive in capability. Strategic positioning, they reopened the Agulhas shipyard in Subic, tying their shipbuilding industry directly to our territory. The Diego Silang's delivery is not just about expanding our fleet. It's a calling card for South Korea's long game, to lock in the Philippines as their key naval customer in Southeast Asia. For our Navy, the Diego Silang represents something bigger than just another hull. Together with her sister ship, plus the two Jose Rizal-class frigates already in service, the Philippine Navy will now have 4 guided missile frigates. That may not sound like much compared to the fleets of China or Japan, but it is a historic milestone for us. For decades, our Navy relied on World War II-era ships, hand-me-downs that were more symbolic than truly combat-ready. Now, with 4 missile frigates, we can finally start to think differently. We can begin to form surface action groups, coordinated squadrons of warships operating together, rather than lone ships patrolling on their own. That matters because in the West Philippine Sea, deterrence isn't about one ship. It's about showing that you can put a force in the water that is modern, networked, and dangerous enough to make any aggressor think twice. Diego Silang, then, is not just another frigate. She's part of the foundation of a future Philippine fleet that can finally operate as a system of ships, not just isolated units. Now here's the rarely discussed angle. In April this year, HD Hyundai Heavy Industries formally opened the Agulhas shipyard in Subic Bay. This was more than a business move. It was a calculated strategic play. By anchoring themselves in Subic, South Korea gains a forward base for servicing ships in the region, not only ours, but potentially other Southeast Asian navies in the future. It also positions them to say to our government, "Why import ships from Europe or America when we can build or assemble them here, in your own backyard?" This move ties directly to Horizon 3. If the Philippines does order 6 more frigates, South Korea can argue, "We can deliver faster because the shipyard is already here. We can support long-term maintenance without sending vessels back abroad. We can help you build local capacity, aligning with your dream of a self-reliant defense posture." This is why the Diego Silang's voyage matters so much. She is a symbol of continuity, arriving just months after the Agulhas shipyard's inauguration. Her arrival says, South Korea is not only delivering ships, they are embedding themselves into the future of Philippine naval power. Of course, South Korea is not without competition. Japan is offering its Mogami-class frigates. France is pushing the Belhera class, along with its submarines. Spain, Italy, and even the US are watching closely. But only South Korea has the momentum. With 4 ships delivered or en route, and a shipyard already established in Subic, they are in pole position. If they secure Horizon 3's frigate and submarine contracts, the Philippines could soon operate a navy dominated by South Korean designs, Jose Rizal class, Miguel Malvar class, HDF 3500 or beyond, plus KSS class submarines. That would transform our Navy into a force built around a single industrial partner. It would streamline training, logistics, and interoperability. but it would also tie us more tightly to South Korea, strategically and politically. So when the BRP Diego Silang arrives next week, she will be greeted with applause, salutes, and celebrations. She will be hailed as another symbol of the Navy's modernization. And she deserves it. But look closer, and you'll see more than just another frigate. You'll see a South Korean strategy unfolding in real time. A long game that goes beyond one ship, or even two. The Diego Silang carries more than weapons and sailors. She carries a message that South Korea is here to stay, not just as a supplier, but as a partner shaping the very foundation of our fleet. This voyage is not just about steel on water. It is about the Philippines' journey to becoming a true maritime power, and about the players who want to write themselves into that story. The Diego Silang is coming home. And with her, she brings not just capability, but the weight of strategy, ambition, and the promise of a stronger Navy for the battles ahead. This is Pinoy Guard, keeping watch on the shield of the Philippines.